What would you do if your greatest failure became the spark that changed the world? In the small town of Havenwood, where dreams were as scarce as rain in a drought, 17-year-old Lila Carter sat at her desk, staring at the red ink scrawled across her essay, a bold, unapologetic zero. Her English teacher, Mrs. Hargrove, had called it unacceptable and a mockery of academic standards. Lila's heart sank as her classmates snickered, their whispers like knives in her back. The assignment had been simple: write about a personal hero. While others chose presidents or celebrities, Lila wrote about her late grandmother, a woman who'd raised her alone, teaching her to question everything, to see beauty in the overlooked. The essay was raw, unstructured, a stream of memories and emotions, nothing like the 5-paragraph formula Mrs. Hargrove demanded. But to Lila, it was truth. And truth, she'd learn, was worth fighting for. Lila's life wasn't easy. Her grandmother's passing 2 years earlier had left her with a struggling mother and a house always one bill away from foreclosure. School was her escape, but not in the way her teachers wanted. Lila devoured books, not for grades, but for ideas. She saw the world differently, noticing patterns where others saw chaos. Her essay, though, was her first attempt to put that vision on paper, and its failure stung deeper than any grade could. That night, she sat on her bed, the crumpled paper in her hands, tears blurring the red zero. "You were right, Gran," she whispered. "They don't understand." But Lila wasn't one to surrender. The next day, she marched into the school library, determined to prove Mrs. Hargrove wrong. She began researching, not for another essay, but to understand why her words had failed. She stumbled across a book on social impact, describing how small ideas, when shared boldly, could ripple outward. Something clicked. Her essay wasn't just a failure, it was a seed. She rewrote it, not for class, but for herself, pouring in her grandmother's lessons. Question authority, lift up the forgotten, build something real. She posted it online, on a blog she'd started on a whim, expecting nothing. Weeks passed, and the post gained traction. A local activist shared it, then a community leader. People saw their own struggles in Lila's words, her raw honesty about loss, resilience, and the quiet heroes who shape us. Comments flooded in, not just from Havenwood, but from strangers across the country. They wrote of their own overlooked heroes, their own zeros. Lila's blog became a platform, a space where the voiceless found a voice. She spent nights moderating comments, responding to emails, and writing more. Her words, once dismissed, were now a beacon. By her senior year, Lila's blog had thousands of followers. She organized a community event, inviting people to share stories of their unsung heroes. The turnout was overwhelming. Hundreds filled the town hall, from factory workers to single parents, each holding a story that deserved to be heard. A local entrepreneur, moved by Lila's vision, offered to fund a website upgrade. With it, Lila launched an online platform, Unsung, dedicated to amplifying stories of everyday resilience. She taught herself coding, learned marketing on the fly, and partnered with nonprofits to expand her reach. The platform grew, attracting sponsors, then investors. By 19, Lila was running a social enterprise, paying her mother's bills and hiring a small team. But success didn't erase the sting of that zero. Lila kept the original essay taped to her wall, a reminder of where she started. When she spoke at conferences, now a sought-after voice in social impact, she'd hold up that crumpled paper. "This," she'd say, "is proof that failure is just the beginning." Her platform, now a global nonprofit, had empowered thousands to share their stories, sparking community projects worldwide. Lila, once a girl who felt invisible, had built a legacy that made others seen. Years later, at a Havenwood High reunion, Lila stood in the same classroom where her essay had been rejected. Mrs. Hargrove, now retired, approached her. "I was wrong about you," she said, her voice soft. Lila smiled, not out of pride, but peace. "You weren't wrong," she replied. "You just didn't see the whole story." By then, Lila's work had earned her millions, not in wealth, though she wasn't struggling, but in impact. Her platform had inspired laws protecting the marginalized, funded scholarships, and rebuilt communities. Lila's story wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It was about proving something right. Her grandmother's lessons question everything. Lift others up turned a zero into a movement. As she looked out at the reunion, At faces who'd once laughed, she felt no anger, only gratitude. Failure had been her foundation, and from it, she'd built a legacy that would outlive her. The girl with the crumpled essay had shown the world that even the smallest voice, when true, could echo forever.